Welcome back, and thanks a lot for staying with us. This is Politics Tonight, where we dig and go beyond the headlines. And tonight we're focused on Plateau politics and insecurity. And I've been speaking with a member of House of Representatives representing Pankshin Kanam Kanke constituency, Yusuf Adamu Gagdi. Honorable Gagdi, let's talk about insecurity and wanton killings in Plateau State. How will you describe the way the governor is handling the situation?
On insecurity and what is happening in Plateau, it's a difficult situation. That politics aside, I pity the governor. In the first instance, he has the mandate of the people for now in his hand. He's the governor of Plateau. Then he's responsible for the protection of lives and properties of the people of Plateau. Plateau have been in that kind of circumstance long before now. Even before the democratization process, I think Plateau have not enjoyed adequate peace from the advent of democracy again in 1999 till this moment. From the bombing of terminals, the bigger market in West Africa, creeping substantial part of Plateau economy, to attacks on the people of Plateau on daily basis, which some of us have come clear on the floor of the National Assembly to even disagree with the former government of President Muhammadu Buhari in terms of securing the lives and properties of the people. I have done that. I have written official letter to the president. I've spoken on the floor of the House, showing our disagreement and the disagreement of Plateau people regarding to attacking this community today, attacking that community tomorrow, calling them on non-government and this and that. But the most unfortunate thing is, instead of us facing the reality to come together to face that situation, I don't think there is a political will on the part of government at the state level in providing that leadership that will harmonize different political interests, different religious sentiment, different ideas together into seeing that things have worked. I've seen my colleagues in the National Assembly, without any fear of political misrepresentation, distinguished Senator Napoleon Bali on that instance, appearing in TV to say that the politics in Plateau is being sponsored by politicians. I get lost. I look back as a trained security expert who have defended my last defense in PhD in security and strategic studies, and as a political player in Plateau situation from 1999 till date, where I have been in government, elected representative of the people, Deputy Speaker of Plateau, as someone that chair Special Committee on Peace, Security and Reconciliation in Plateau. I do not see how anybody will say that politicians are the ones sponsoring. We are still waiting for those people that make those allegations to come out and help our governor. I want that help for him. When it comes to security situation, Mutfwang should call me today that this is what I want you to do for me as a representative of the people that will bring about peace in Plateau. To hell with political party, I will join hand with him to make sure that Plateau people live in peace. But where the governor is superior than you as a representative of the people, not superior in terms of I have my function, he has his function, the constitutional responsibility of the governor and that of the member of the House of Representatives is quite different. So, but where the mandate of governing the state is in the hands of the governor, my commitment toward helping him to find a lasting solution to Plateau situation in terms of insecurity is limited until and unless in some instances you are invited before you play some certain role. Otherwise, you restrict your role within the representation of the Nigerian people, starting from the three local governments that I represent, which is Pankshin Kanke Kanam Federal Constituency. But I think the earlier we understand that issue of insecurity, that's why I always give it to Governor Jang, I always give it to Governor Lalong, in the instance of trying to call stakeholders, irrespective of their party affiliation, to come together. And the last time I complained that from the day Governor Mutfwang was elected till today, there was no stakeholders meeting. He called once. When he called, he decided to call the meeting when the federal government is inaugurating the members of the Federal Executive Council. How do you expect stakeholders to attend a meeting that conflict with the national engagement of the Fed? That was equally belittling to the face of the federal government of Nigeria. So I don't think I have attended. I wouldn't have attended. I wouldn't have abandoned inauguration of Federal Executive Council to attend a meeting with the governor of my state. In times of spirituosity of government function, that function that involved the President of the Federal Republic, is more important to me than meeting with the governor of my state. And how many of us attended? How many of us were even invited? I'm not sure if all the political parties were invited to attend those meetings. So it's very pathetic. He is trying his best, but I think he's not getting the right advice by saying, when it comes to politics, let's go and punch ourselves in the political battlefield. But when it comes to securing the life of the people of Plateau, let's keep politics aside. He should learn from the way members of the National Assembly are working. Come to Plateau caucus in the National Assembly. You will not know which one is PDP, which one is Labour Party, which one is APC. We keep our political party in the gate of the National Assembly. When we enter there, we say Plateau first. Anything that will improve the general well-being of Plateau people, that is what we do. Myself, Honorable Benilar, Right Honorable Ahmed Idris Maje, Honorable, all of them, that is what we come together. We look at the issue holistically based on the interests of our own state. So I expect that to be replicated at the state level, where we will not be treated based on political sentiment. Where if the governor come in town, there was an attack in Plateau, he will say, let the stakeholders, what do I mean by stakeholders in this instance? Inviting the members of the National Assembly, irrespective of party, let's visit the Chief of Defense Staff. Let's visit the Chief of Air Staff. Let's visit the Chief of Army. But when you decide to isolate and turn security commitment to a political party engagement, you don't get the result you are supposed. More so, I'm a chairman of an armed force committee. So no matter how Governor Mutfwang scream, if I pretend over those armed forces committee, one, I should be treated with respect as being someone that pretend over some of those services. Two, at least treat my people with courtesy.
Honorable Gagdi, what's the situation with Operation Rainbow? I mean, just last month, the governor promised to rejuvenate that state security network. Have there been any changes?
I don't think so. But the earlier he does that, the better. I have my reservation on that. I told you my responsibility as a person that superintend over some security committees at the state level. Operation Rainbow is there. Regenerating it will equally add value to the Plateau people. But let's not politicize those security outfits. Until and unless we face it holistically, you have had a lot of opinion that people ventilated about it. But as someone that believes in security, I will support Governor Mutfwang to totally see how he can reform Operation Rainbow for the good of Plateau people. But it shouldn't be a paper and screen of TV policy. It should be something that will be followed with action so that the people will equally get support in terms of the security of their lives.
All right. So the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, recently visited Plateau State to condole the people over recent killings. How will you describe the reception given to the First Lady?
It was nice. I commended her. I was not aware. This is part of the things that we should be able to speak it as it is. The First Lady going to Plateau, it's not her responsibility to invite stakeholders in government to welcome her in Plateau. She should not see some of us as... She is our First Lady of our own president, produced by our own political party. Why is the governor hesitating inviting us from the APC to join him in receiving the First Lady in Plateau? Maybe that was why there was a serious cry in terms of the beneficiaries of what the First Lady donated to the people and victims of Plateau crisis. Perhaps the intention was we have put together a list of people, our own political appointees, our own elected political office holders, people holding PDP position at the state level, were the people I saw in the template produced as a beneficiary of those visits that the First Lady visited Plateau. And it's very unfortunate that you see government come out to deny a list that was sent to the First Lady, produced in the program, taken to JOS, and you see relations and blue-blooded of people in government being represented in that list. What worried me most was, having gone through the list, I saw a press statement issued by the government of Plateau State denying those lists. It is very unfortunate. I rather accept responsibility that there is an error somewhere and try to appeal to all sections of Plateau that it will be looked into. The governor may not be the one that have committed those mistakes. It may be his subordinate that governor cannot submit list to the office of the First Lady. Obviously, there must be somebody responsible by the government, trusted with the position of responsibility by the governor, that is asked to submit that list. Then you submitted a list that does not represent the crisis situation in Plateau. I gave an example in one of my media engagement day before yesterday. I represent Panching local government. I represent Kanke local government. I represent Kanam local government. There was a communal crisis in Kanke that claimed the houses of some communities in Kanke in the late 2022. There was an attack in Kanam local government in one day that claimed the life of 147 people from Kanam local government. One day. There have never been history of that kind of crisis in Kanam local government. It claimed people 147 from one faith. Then if you are saying the First Lady should intervene in the communities that are affected in Plateau, will I be that proper representative of the people if I don't speak to those communities in Kanke that were affected by communal crisis? Because crisis is crisis. Whether it is attacked by Fulani, by bandit, by whatever name you call them, it's killing, it's crisis. Then for cry loud sake, why can't you include that Kanke local government that communal crisis have claimed the houses of the people? Why can't you include that local government? That not in 2 weeks, in one day, 147 people were dead. And the name of that local government is not even represented as a beneficiary of that intervention by the government that the people of that local government voted for. I don't think that is right. And if I don't talk, irrespective of whatever your understanding about my opinion, I am representing Kanam. I am representing Kanke. I'm representing Panching. Crisis have affected those 2 out of those 3 local governments from 2022 till date. But the names of those local governments are missing.
So if indeed
the names of people that have not been affected is there. So I get lost and confused.
Right. So if indeed there was an error, how do we ensure the money gets to the beneficiaries?
I will behave like my brother friend, Honorable Bogos, who have always attacked policies of Governor Lalong, and heaven did not fall. Because we know democracy, it is within his right as a PDP member of the House of Representatives to speak against policies that he thinks it is not in the best interest of the people of Plateau. So if I am reciprocating what Bogos is doing, I think although my own, I'm sure it's going to be different. The understanding, they will not understand me the way we and Lalong understood Bogos, because we know democracy. There must be people that will come out to speak against policies that are anti-people. And the purpose of that is to be able to regulate the activities of people that think they have a field day in implementing government policy. So, if my First Lady, the First Lady of Nigeria, have donated money to Plateau, we are watching to see how that money is spent across Plateau people. If the President have given part loan and part donation of 5 billion to each state, including Plateau, we are watching. We have watched. We have seen how bag of rice few have been shared to political party representatives. Some will take 10, some party will take 1. We are watching, following up to see how those resources have been expanded. Until and unless the representative of people like we speak against policy, including federal government policy, where we feel it is not in line with the democratization process, be rest assured that Yusuf Gagdi will speak against that, irrespective of your understanding. But that is democracy.
Right. So, I mean, we'll also continue to monitor that situation. So let's talk about the 10th House of Representatives. How will you assess the House so far?
We are doing well. We have only sat for a few days, and we've done our best, particularly in the process of collaborating and cooperating with federal government to bring dividends of democracy, good governance at the doorstep of the people. If you look at the number of bills within short period of time, I will talk in the case of House of Representatives, where Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas was able to preside over. You will know that we are ready and willing to adjust our obsolete laws. the bills that concern existing laws that have been established for the last 30, 20 years of Nigeria that cannot be able to cure the problem of 2023, we are trying to adjust those bills to fill the gap that is existing so that our society will function, so that Nigeria will function. We are doing our best in doing that. The new ones that we think initiating them will equally add value to the federal government in implementing policies and programs that have direct bearing to the common man, we are equally doing that. Motions and counter motions that seem to regulate and equally tell government that there are elected representatives of Nigerian people that are watching some of those policies. They should be kind to the people of Nigeria. The 10th Assembly have done that within the period of short time. Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas superintended over the National Assembly before we went for recess. We are resuming very soon. In maybe 26, according to the notices that the leadership of both the two houses put together. And by God's grace, we'll push those policies, we'll push those programs, we'll continue to speak not to government, but to the people that government govern, to the people of this country. Without any fear of political misrepresentation or what have you, we will be able to do things that tomorrow we'll remind ourselves that we've taken oath, that will not allow our personal interest to influence our official decision by providing leadership and representation to the people of this country. So, to rate the 10th Assembly, I don't think we have spent the time that we need to say we have done well or we have not done well. But from the pillar, the foundation put in place by the leadership of the House of Representatives and that of the Senate, I'm very sure that 10th Assembly will provide the necessary support to the executive arm of government to deliver on the Renew Hope mantra.
All right. It's been wonderful speaking with you, Honorable Yusuf Gagdi, member, House of Representatives, representing Pankshin, Kanam, Kanke constituency. Thank you so much for finding time to join us on Politics Tonight. It is always a pleasure having you on the program. Thank you so much, Honorable. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.